Next, we have the gaming companies like Bungie and Ubisoft. Now, they're known for the games like Destiny, as well as Tom Clancy's. Even you have other games like PUBG being thrown here as one of the games that they have issue with regards to cheating. So, according to TechTimes.com, those companies have filed suit against professional cheat distributors. So, meaning there's a company that actually do distribute cheat codes to help users have a competitive advantage in a sense. And what the company is stating here is that it's costing them millions of dollars. So do they have merit in regards to filing a lawsuit here? So let's see here. So as you can see, Ubisoft and Bungie, makers of Destiny, as I mentioned, Tom Clancy now. Obviously, cheat codes is used primarily to have a better leg up in terms of the game. Now, typically, it depends on the type of game. Like in those games, first-person shooter, it's more on a competitive advantage so that you can win the game, whether it's better abilities, better weapons, and so forth. Now, question is, why is cheating considered bad in for those companies? Now, typically, in previous past, if you were to look at games like SimCity, they even condone that, and you have popular games like Grand Theft Auto, wherein they give you a plethora of cheat codes so that you can, enjoy the games further to your heart's delight, and it's accessible. So why is it in this case that for those company they are making exceptions? That why is it that they're not for the cheating in a sense of making the game more enjoyable or easier, so to speak? Well, anyway, so let's get into the teeth of the companies that do sell the subscription. So what they do is sell a monthly subscription of cheats in Europe. So it has different tiers of access ranging from 25 to 30 euros. So the point here is to get the best out of the players and opponents in each match, and are elusive of the security set up by both companies in their game. So meaning they're trying to find loopholes to give you that competitive edge. Now, my issue here is, how is it that the company like Ubisoft is costing money here? Now, is it because that to gain access certain weapons or abilities you have to pay for that? And my question here is, why does a player have to pay for it if they've already paid for the full game? You could look at other games that, in the case like I think the Spider-Man game, they offer you a lot of features, especially the skins, to make it more aesthetically pleasing, the different suits that Spider-Man wears. Then if EA were to produce that game, they would ask you to pay for, I don't know how many dollars every time you want to choose a different skin. But in the game itself, it's given. You play as you play along the game. If you meet certain achievements or goals, then you are rewarded by giving that skin. Mm, it just looks like that the company is being greedy here of trying to milk every nook and cranny to generate an extra ounce of revenue here. Because if you made a game enjoyable, which is what's supposed to be, and then let's say you want to give that additional feature or weapon or whatever feature it is, then make it harder for players to access it. They have to grind and grind, and then you give them option to pay. Then what's the benefit there? Now, obviously, others are enamored to just shortcutting the process and just pay that amount, whether it's $5 or $10 or even more, so that they can access the weapon or ability right away. Which is, that's not fun in a sense. Yeah, the company will make money, but eventually the game will turn sour because if there's going to be cheats to be played, then everyone can cheat. Or if they want to use an ability, then everyone should be allowed to use it. So the gaming community will manage themselves. So question is, if companies like Ubisoft and Bungie want to monetize that, then why not make a better game? Because if it's a better game, regardless of with cheats or without cheats, players will continue to play it. Like in my case, I play an older game, the SimCity Deluxe. So it has games there. So if you want to enjoy the game, make it easier, you can do that. but I would play it nonetheless because it's a compelling game. Or maybe if it's Grand Theft Auto, now it's been built in since when it started in Grand Theft Auto 3, right, all the way to the latest version. That if it's easy to enjoy more the game, whether there's cheat codes or not. Obviously, it's a different experience if it's for single player versus multiplayer. Make it, level the playing field. None of those paywalls that you have to pay to grind out. Similar how EA does with their FIFA Ultimate Team, right? To build the best players or your characters, you have to grind it out over and over, and it takes tens of hours or even hundreds of hours to be able to achieve a certain level of success there, which is, that's not a game anymore. It's kind of like work in a sense. But we'll have to wait to see what the courts decides with regards to this ruling, because if this were to be considered as illegal, unfair, then does it mean that all games will not give provide any more cheats? Imagine playing Grand Theft Auto without the cheat codes. That would be a terrible experience, especially for novice players who's trying to take up the game, right? That's why you give them the flexibility, right? So you can enjoy the game whether you're playing it with cheats or without cheats. And there are different sets of rules if you're playing in a multiplayer game, right? Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Now, even though, as mentioned in the article, that even though cheats are not technically celebrated or frowned upon, but it's part of our culture. Meaning, I think that I was watching a game before. It's Hollow Knight. So there was a gaming community that does speed runs where they try to finish the game in as fastest time possible, or they put a lot of constraints by making it more harder, limiting your ability. And some would do cheats. Yeah, you could do cheat. You could do cheat, making yourself invincible. But obviously, the gaming community would frown upon that. So, obviously, it what do you call that? It nullifies in a sense, or it discourages other people from cheating. So it depends on the type of game. So question is, the company has the right to sue those company that's just using the market based on the needs and demands, right? Otherwise, the company will not exist if there's no need for cheats and codes to get the leg up in the game here in particular. Anyway, maybe it's only applicable due to the online games because it's very highly competitive, and that it should be skill based rather than just cheats per se.